So after a long wait, Asus finally launched their flagship phone of 2020, which is nothing but the Asus Zenfone 7 and Zenfone 7 Pro. While the Asus Zenfone 7 can be seen as a proper upgrade to the Asus Zenfone 6Z, which is the flagship killer of 2019, Asus actually brought a new Pro series and has introduced Asus Zenfone 7 Pro alongside with Asus Zenfone 7, and this 7 Pro again can be seen as an improved version of the Zenfone 7 with some better specs than the Asus Zenfone 7. And right now, as you guys know, there is some tension going on between India and China, and not a lot of Indian people are willing to buy Chinese products. This Asus Zenfone 7 and 7 Pro can be seen as a very great replacement for the OnePlus 8 series, because we are hoping to see the Asus Zenfone 7 and 7 Pro priced somewhere around the same point where the OnePlus 8 and 8 Pro is priced. So we will in this video see how great this Asus Zenfone 7 Pro is, what are the specifications guys. However, we know the official specifications by now because it has already been launched in some countries. The India launch has not been announced yet, but for sure this phone is launching in India and the launch is very near, I would say. So we will see how great this phone is, what are the specifications, how good the performance is going to be when it is launching in India, and what is this phone worth. So make sure to watch this video till the end, and if you end up liking this video, do poke the subscribe button, ding the notification bell, and also hit the thumbs up button. With that said, I am Ranga here and this is TechSpot. Let's head into the video. So this video is going to be fully about the Zenfone 7 Pro only, not about the Zenfone 7. So now let's actually start with the design, display and build quality of the Asus Zenfone 7 Pro. Starting with the design, this phone has a 6.67 inch screen, and here we have got a full screen, no punch hole, no U-shaped notch, O-shaped notch, nothing of that stuff, a full screen display. We will talk about the secondary camera later in this video guys, okay? A full screen display, and both the front and the back of the phone is protected by Gorilla Glass 6, which is very great, I would say guys. And this is generally something you find at this price segment only, it is not something very new. And the display is an AMOLED display with a 90Hz refresh rate. So this display is a good one, I would say, and also it is a HDR10 plus supported display, so it has the official HDR10 plus certification. So this display is also going to be very good for viewing movies or stuff like that, and also the fact that it has no notch in the display, it is going to be even greater, I would say. And regarding the design and build quality guys, both front and back are protected by Gorilla Glass as I said, and the phone weighs around 230 grams. Yes, though it is a bit heavy, I would say, still upon few days of using, everyone will get used to that weight and no one is going to feel it as a big disadvantage after a few days of using it. So the design and the build quality of this phone is very good with a really great display, a 6.67 inch Full HD Plus AMOLED display. Though yes, you don't have Quad HD Plus display here, it is a Full HD Plus 90Hz refresh rate. But still I would say the display is very good here because we have no notch and stuff like that. So that's all about the display and design. Now let's move and talk about the internals here. So in the processor department, this phone actually packs a super powerful Snapdragon 865 Plus chipset, which is the most powerful chipset you can get in any Android phone as of today. And we have already seen this chipset in Asus ROG Phone 3. There also we had the Snapdragon 865 Plus chipset, but that was a gaming dedicated phone. So we are not going to compare that phone with this one because this ROG Phone 3 has its own advantages and disadvantages, and this Zenfone 7 Pro has its own advantages and disadvantages. However, this is the most powerful chipset. You cannot expect anything better than this because this is the most powerful thing you can ever get with a 3.1 GHz clock speed. However, if you want the full specifications of the 865 Plus, you can go to the Qualcomm Snapdragon website and look at it if you are actually interested. I am not going to talk about it in detail here. And moving on to the storage and RAM, here we get only a single variant as far as I know, which is 8GB RAM coupled with 256GB of storage. And the RAM is LPDDR5 and the fastest RAM you can ever find as of today, and the UFS 3.1 storage, again the fastest read and write capacity storage as of today. So the internals is also a really great thing without any problem as far as the specification is concerned. You can see in the sheet it has very great specification regarding both the display and internal section. Moving on and talking about the camera department on this phone, here is the most interesting thing I would say, because the back camera and the front camera both has the same resolution in this phone. Yes, you get a 64 plus 12 plus 8 megapixel triple camera at the back and same at the front. Now guys, don't mistake me, there are not 6 cameras in this phone totally, there are only 3 cameras. It is actually using the flip camera mechanism. That is, I hope everyone will be knowing about flip camera by now. However, if you don't know what is a flip camera, the camera is generally placed at the back of the phone, and when you actually open the camera app and tap the switch front camera button, the back camera will just lift like this and then it will change as the front camera. So this camera system is very great. I would say this was first implemented in the Asus Zenfone 6Z and it has been a very great system. And regarding the camera specification, the main camera is a Sony IMX686 sensor, which is a 64 megapixel f1.7 aperture camera which has an optical image stabilization. Moving on to the next, we have a 12 megapixel ultra wide camera which is IMX383 if I remember correctly, and this 12 megapixel ultra wide camera is going to be good for capturing ultra wide shots with 190 or 120 degree angle of view if I am correct again. And the next camera is an 8 megapixel telephoto lens which offers 3x optical zoom and a 12x total zoom and also has optical image stabilization. Now the great fact is that here we are not going to talk about different cameras separately, because whatever you have got at the back camera, it is the same front camera guys. So this phone would be the greatest phone for taking selfies and stuff, because it has got 3 sensors, a main ultra wide and then a telephoto lens for the front camera also because of the flip camera mechanism. So this is all regarding the camera department, though yes, we don't have any images in our hand taken with this phone. Looking at the specification itself, we can tell this camera is very good, and hopefully this one can compete with the OnePlus 8 or 8 Pro camera, because OnePlus 8 and 8 Pro both had a very good camera, and this Asus Zenfone 7 Pro is largely targeted at the OnePlus 8 and 8 Pro. So this is all regarding the camera department. Moving on and talking about the battery, here we get a 5000 mAh battery with 30 watt fast charger bundle in the box, and this battery will easily last for you throughout a day without any problem. You will not have to plug in your charger again in the evening once if you already charged in the morning. So 1 day of usage for a bit of heavy usage, and more than 1.5 days if you are a normal user, I would say. So this is also a great 5000 mAh battery. It is a bit big battery, and I think that's why the weight of the phone has been increased a bit. The weight is 230 grams as I pointed out before. So this is about the battery guys, and regarding the miscellaneous specifications, this phone actually has a stereo speaker setup one at the bottom, and the other speaker is actually the earpiece itself. The earpiece doubles as a speaker. So the stereo speaker setup is again going to be good for movie viewing experience or gaming experience again. And yes, though here we have an AMOLED display, we don't have an Android display fingerprint scanner, but we are having a side mounted capacitive fingerprint scanner, and I don't see it as a big disadvantage or stuff like that. And this phone has USB Type-C port for charging, and we are not hoping to see a 3.5mm jack in this phone. So that's it about the specification of the Asus Zenfone 7 Pro. And regarding the pricing guys, we don't know the Indian official pricing yet, but when you convert the Taiwan pricing, it comes somewhere around 55,000, something like that. But we are actually hoping to see it a bit lower than what the price is in Taiwan. We are hoping to see a lesser price tag in India at least, because only then it will be a very great competitor for the OnePlus 8 and 8 Pro smartphones. So that's it about the Asus Zenfone 7 Pro. What do you guys think about this phone? Is this going to be a very great phone? Is this going to be a good competitor for the OnePlus 8 Pro? And will you guys buy this once it's launched in India? So that's it for this video, guys. Just put your thoughts in the comment section, and I will make sure to reply to your comments. And hope to catch you in my next video, guys. And by the way, if you have not yet subscribed to my channel, hit the subscribe button and also hit the like button if you like this video. Thank you. Take care. Bye.